This tarnished brass key rests quietly beside my glass. The room hums softly with the neon blue reflection from the street. 8 p.m. hits differently when silence fills the apartment floor. I count the tiny scratches on the metal surface. Every groove remembers the door I lock behind my back. My pulse matches the low hum of the refrigerator. Shadows stretch across the hardwood board by board. I check my phone and lay it face down once again. The city outside breathes through open balcony vents. My thoughts are racing faster than the evening train. Late hours always force the truth to show its face. Sitting with the pressure in this empty space. I am caught between the person I used to be and the man I need to become tonight. Twilight heavy on my shoulders while the quiet stays polite. Late hours always force the truth to show its face. The ice melts down inside my tumbler inch by inch. I promised myself I would stop playing with the edge. Ambition tastes like copper on the back of my tongue. Friends are out drinking, celebrating years we were young. I stay right here, recalculating every single step, sorting through the promises I actually kept. Late hours always force the truth to show its face. Sitting with the pressure in this empty space. I am caught between the person I used to be and the man I need to become tonight. Twilight heavy on my shoulders while the quiet stays polite. Always force the truth to show his face. I pick up the key and spin it on the wood. It wobbles to a stop exactly where it stood. No dramatic breakthrough, just a heavyweight choice. And I'm learning how to trust my own quiet voice. The street lights flicker twice across the ceiling till the brass key cools beneath my fingertips. Now still sitting in the quiet of 8 p.m. Just me and what comes next. The subway grate rattles as the train shifts underneath. You drop your shoulder bag and kick off both your shoes. The city noise is bleeding through the window screen, and I can tell you brought a heavy mood to lose. Sit on the velvet couch, unbutton that tight collar. Forget the shift you work, forget the missing dollars. The clock is ticking slow, the twilight turns to blue. I poured a glass of amber liquid just for you. You spent all day running through the cold haze, trying to make $1 in the tight maze. Now the streetlight flicker hits your tired eyes. Throw your worries out into the darkening skies. Leave the heavy coat beside the door tonight. We do not need to figure out who was wrong or right. Just let the baseline settle in your bone marrow. The road ahead was steep, the doorway was narrow. We got the evening tension fading out slow underneath the dim amber room glow. The siren echoes down the boulevard 3 blocks away. A gentle reminder that we survived another day. I see the stress still sitting rigid in your spine. So take a heavy breath and sip this sour wine. We used to talk about the dreams we would chase down. Now we just try to keep our heads above the town. You do not gotta explain why you feel defeated. Sometimes a quiet room is all that is needed. You spent all day running through the cold haze, trying to make $1 in the tight maze. Now the streetlight flicker hits your tired eyes. Throw your worries out into the darkening skies. Leave the heavy coat beside the door tonight. We do not need to figure out who was wrong or right. Just let the baseline settle in your bone marrow. The road ahead was steep, the doorway was narrow. We got the evening tension fading out slow. Underneath the dim amber room glow. Outside, the traffic phasing through the harbor breeze. Inside, we let the tempo bring us to our knees. No pitch, no deadline, no one left to please us. Two old friends breathing in the quiet ease. You made it through the fire, man, you made it home. You do not have to fight the night alone. Kick back, my friend. Let the evening take the wheel. Forget the world outside. Just feel what you feel. We are good tonight. Burn sage and still rain. Carry through the open kitchen window. He loosens his tie, watching her lean against the warm marble island. Neither says a word about the phone call from an hour ago. The city outside turns violet, heavy with humidity and streetlights. She pours 2 glasses of cold water, letting ice hit the glass with a sharp ring. His sneakers squeak against the hardwood floor as he moves closer. The shadow of the wall clock is 7:15. They both feel the quiet static charging up the air. One wrong phrase could shatter the apartment ceiling, so they just breathe the cooling evening in. It is that twilight friction pulling at their sleeves. Nothing is broken yet, but nobody leaves. They dance around the edge of what they ought to say, holding back the thunder at the end of the day. Just 2 silhouettes caught in the amber glow, waiting for the evening tension to let go. She picks at the frayed edge of a denim jacket. He turns off the speaker, muting the low beat that filled the room. A taxi horn blares 3 stories down, cutting through the stillness. She checks her watch, but her eyes stay fixed on his posture. He wants to ask if she still keeps the ring in her coat pocket. She wants to know why his hands are shaking when he reaches for his keys. The shadow of the wall clock at 7:15. They both feel the quiet static charging up the air. One wrong phrase could shatter the apartment ceiling, so they just breathe the cooling evening in. It is that twilight friction pulling at their sleeves. Nothing is broken yet, but nobody leaves. They dance around the edge of what they ought to say, holding back the thunder at the end of the day. Just 2 silhouettes caught in the amber glow, waiting for the evening tension to let go. The daylight drops past the line of brick brownstones. A sudden breeze pushes through the mesh window screen. The smell of damp pavement mixes with her sweet perfume. He takes a half step forward, filling up the space between them. She does not pull away. She simply holds his gaze. The dust settles deep into the hallway corners. Neither reaches out toward the light switch. They stay suspended in the darkening room, just breathing in the heavy night air, waiting for the quiet storm to break. A sharp realization snaps the stillness. Parked beside the curb, an halogen light. The bassline hums low through the speakers, buzzing softly against the dashboard tint. Your thumb traces the edge of an unread text screen, glowing faint in the dusk. outside, neon signs reflecting puddles, amber and violet washed in shadow. 2 cups of cold espresso sit untouched in the center console. Nobody speaks, but the atmosphere holds the weight of 1,000 unspoken truths. The blue hour thickens past the tinted glass. Traffic creeps along the avenue like a slow motion film. Every breath between us carries a heavy quiet, waiting for somebody to shift the gear. Evening tension pulling at the seams of tonight. Distant brake lights flash a bloody shade of red. We are standing on the edge of saying too much, watching smoke rise slowly from the exhaust pipe red. Late afternoon gives way to the dark city sky, and the silence is loud enough to shatter the glass. The radiator clicks as the engine turns off. Headlights cut through the rising condensation on the windshield. You pull your leather jacket tighter, eyes fixed on the rearview mirror. A street vendor pulls down the corrugated shutter 3 blocks away. The beat drops softly from a passing car. 808s vibrate in the pavement. We sit inches apart, trapped in the frame of a widescreen shadow. The blue hour thickens past the tinted glass. Traffic creeps along the avenue like a slow motion film. Every breath between us carries a heavy quiet, waiting for somebody to shift the gear. Evening tension pulling at the seams of the night. Distant brake lights flash a bloody shade of red. We standing on the edge of saying too much, watching smoke rise slowly from the exhaust pipe red. Late afternoon gives way to the dark city sky, and the silence is loud enough to shatter the glass. Street lights, flick lights, flick. Street lights flicker, blooming one by one along the boulevard. Grain of dust floats through the amber ray. On your dashboard, if I open my mouth, the narrative changes forever. If you look my way, the film cuts straight to black. Static crackles on the radio frequency, frozen right before the drop. Halogen glowing with asphalt. Engine quiet now, just the quiet hum of the evening grid, waiting for the light to turn green, waiting for the scene to end. Why does the room feel smaller when the sunset turns purple? The ice melts inside my glass without making a single sound. My phone screen flashes twice, then goes dark before I reach. Maybe I should call back, maybe I should just stay frozen. Downstairs, bass hums a low pitch through the floorboards. I count 4 beats, then lose track of what I wanted to say. Heavy ass sitting on my neck like a wool sweater in July. Clock creeps past 7:30, thoughts drifting sideways now. Amber glass reflecting the street light through the blinds. Is a real desire or just the evening playing tricks on me? Hard to separate the longing from the ambient noise. Dust pulls the velvet curtain while my mind rolls on, floating through these unanswered questions in the shade. City hums a slow lullaby right outside my window. We don't need any resolution when the mood hits deep, riding the stream of this quiet evening tension. Did I leave my car running, or is that just the fridge motor? She asked me what I meant last week, and I still don't know. Shadow of the houseplant stretches across the hardwood rug. Siren wheels 4 blocks out, somebody's night is falling apart. I'm suspended in slow motion, watching smoke curl toward the ceiling. Unsent text clogging my draft box, words I'll never speak aloud. Thought shifts, glass shifts, the ice hits the bottom rim. Who actually holds the truth when the twilight fades out? No answers coming tonight, just the rhythm taking over space. Electric pulse running underneath my skin, waiting for something. Why do we search for logic the second the light leaves? Just another empty question swallowed by the dark evening tension holding steady. I'm running wild, still no answer. The heavy leather seat. The heavy leather seat creaks downward under all the years I spent running. 8 p.m. shadow stretch across the hardwood floor while the city hums its late routine. I pull out a warm pad of paper, dipping a pen in the amber streetlight glow. If this ink could break through time, I'd tell you to drop those heavy shoulders. You were 16, hiding panic in an oversized denim jacket, chasing a ghost of success that was never yours to carry.
The amber lamps flicker as the baseline thumps below. You thought every midnight misstep was the end of the show.
Look at me now, sitting right where you dreamed to sit. Every scar you earned was just a quiet piece of it.
Dear younger me, stop holding your breath in the dark. The world won't collapse if you let down your guard and rest your heart. You spent your whole youth fighting shadows in the hall. Turns out the monster was just a coat hanging on the wall. Relax your jaw, put down that heavy stone. You made it through the night, you made it home.
Remember when you starved yourself asleep to prove a point to ghosts? Told yourself that peace was a luxury for the rich and clothes. I watched the steam rise from my cup while the keys play smooth and slow. You don't need to scream to be heard, kid, just let the tension go. That girl who walked away didn't ruin your life, she cleared the space. And every door that slammed shut guided you to a better place.
Younger me, stop holding your breath in the dark. The world won't collapse if you let down your guard and rest your heart. You spent your whole youth fighting shadows in the hall. Turns out the monster was just a coat hanging on the wall. Relax your jaw, put down that heavy stone. You made it through the night, you made it home.
The dust settles deep into the velvet curtains. I wish I could wrap my arms around your fragile fighting chest to tell you that the hunger isn't permanent, the anxiety isn't forever.
We built this quiet sanctuary out of every storm we had to weather.
Fold the letter carefully, leave it on the desk as the piano fades out.
You survived the worst of it, kid.
Rest now, just rest now. Amber halogen bleeds through foggy windows, setting the counter ablaze in soft orange rust. You sit 3 stools down, swirl it nice and dark syrup, asking if the rain ever stops in this part of town. I tell you the storm always stays through the evening, and you pull a silver lighter from your sleeve. We talk about cities we left in a hurry, 2 shadows exhaling in the back of the diner. The clock on the wall clicks past 9:15. We do not know each other's actual names, just reading the room while the city goes heavy, finding a rhythm inside of the calm. Late night quiet, sparks in the dark. A casual word turns into a spark. We bounce off the tension that hangs in the air, talking like friends who were always right there. No promises made, no promises broken, just low frequency truth that is easily spoken. Your coat is still damp from the midnight commute. You tell me you came here to run from a call. I nod while the jukebox spins something from 90s, admitting I came here to not feel it all. Yeah, you laugh at the eyes of 2 runners colliding, passing a salt shaker over the formica wood. It feels like a movie with half of the script gone unwritten and smooth, just as good as it gets. The clock on the wall clicks past 9:15. We do not know each other's actual names, just reading the room while the city goes heavy, finding a rhythm inside of fills both our porcelain cups. Neither of us moves to get up. The city outside is a blur of red taillights, but inside this corner time slows to a hum. You ask where I go when the morning arrives. I say that depends on the turn of the tide. Amber light fades to a quiet dark blue. Nice to have shared a few minutes with you. You slide off the stool and walk out to the street. Just two passing rhythms that happened to me. You told me yesterday my eyes look heavy when the sun dips low. I watch the microwave clock blink 6:15 in the silent glow. A single drop of condensation rolls off a half-drained cup. The radiator clicks 3 times before it starts warming up. My phone screen lights up with a missed call from a friend back home. A pair of scuffed dunks sitting crooked near the threshold of stone.
The baseline from apartment 4B hums right through the wall. A yellow cab turns down the street and casts its shadows tall. I count the tiny details keeping this apartment still. The dusk is creeping in across the dusty windowsill.
It is the way the evening pulls the tension tight between the fading orange and the heavy blue of night.
Just small observations hanging in the quiet air. A worn jacket tossed over the corner of a chair.
We hold our breath until the city lights begin to shine.
Just watching how the shadows slowly cross the line.
Your text from yesterday said take a breath and lock the door. I see a trail of dried umbrella drops along the floor. The street lamp outside flickers twice, then settles in a gold. A loose thread pulls away from where the couch cushion is old. The smell of dark roast coffee lingering inside the room.
A silver ring you left behind reflects the twilight gloom.
It is the way the evening pulls the tension tight between the fading orange and the heavy blue of night.
Just small observations hanging in the quiet air. A worn jacket tossed over the corner of a chair.
We hold our breath until the city lights begin to shine.
Just watching how the shadows slowly cross the line.
The refrigerator hums a low and steady key.
I check my dark reflection on the unlit screen TV.
Every little corner holds a piece of how I feel.
The evening tension makes the simple things feel real.
No loud commotion, just the ticking on the plaster wall.
I sit here waiting for the midnight sky to fall.
You
Said yesterday I noticed things nobody sees, like faint breezes moving through the sidewalk trees. 6:25 now on the kitchen stove. The dark is settling in our quiet grove.
night takes over.
Smooth and slow.
Rough red cotton catches my fingertips, unraveling loose threads on the so gray sleeve. Shadows lengthen across the hardwood floor while 6 o'clock settles into the quiet street. This heavy knit used to sit draped over your shoulders, back when November apartment nights were warm. I slide my thumb over the stubborn weave, and suddenly I'm standing right back in that storm. The city lights outside begin to bleed, turn the window pane a bruised deep purple. My heart rate climbs to match a forgotten beat as the memory loops in a tightening circle. The evening pulls me under like a tide. I'm back in that backseat with you tonight. Smell of sweet clove, cigarette and leather trim. When the dark was alive and the street lamp was dim, every fiber holds the weight of what we spun. comfortable feels coarse against my cold skin, unlocking whispers we buried under the rug. You laughed against my collar, pulling me close, wrapped in this exact fabric, safe and snug. Now the clock ticks loud in an empty apartment, young adult dreams left sitting on the counter shelf. I touch the scene where your fingers used to rest and lose the present moment to someone else. The city lights outside begin to bleed, turning the window pane a bruise deep purple. My heart rate climbs to match a forgotten beat as the memory loops in a tightening circle. The evening pulls me under like a tide. I'm back in that backseat with you tonight. Smell of sweet cold cigarette and leather trim when the dark was alive and the street lamps dim. Every fiber holds the weight of what we spun. Now dusk is coming down and I cannot run. Static coming through the stereo speakers. We were broke 24, living for the rush. Now I sit in this high-rise in expensive silence, and all I really want is that messy touch. The weave of this sweater never washed you away. It kept your phantom warm through every single day. Rough ribbed cotton beneath my hand. Dusk settling down across the city land. I let go of the sleep and watch the evening break. 9:45 blues on the dashboard screen. In the midnight electric car I haven't bought yet. I pictured the humidity sticking to the leather. Subwoofer humming low through the downtown tunnel. You will be in the passenger seat, laughing at my cadence. Checking your phone to see if the rooftop bar is open. We are not there today, we are still grinding through the bills. But I can taste the ice melting in our future glasses. Fast forward to summers, feel the bass in our ribs. Living out the movie that we scripted in the attic. No more cheap instant coffee, just silk on our skin. Watching city lights flicker like a million golden sparks. In that future evening tension when the beat drops slow, we will ride through the velvet night with nowhere to go. Every late shift now is just a down payment on then. When 11 o'clock feels like the place we begin. When 11 o'clock feels like the place we begin. 8:30 p.m. in a high-rise kitchen. Marble countertops reflecting the violet sky. You were slicing lime wedges, wearing my oversized dirty vinyl record, spinning the neo soul track for 99. I come up behind you, wrap my arms around your waist. No lingering deadlines, no unpaid rent, no decisions. Just a rich, slow pulse of a dream fully realized. And the city below us glowing like a million fires. In that future evening tension, when the beat drops slow, we will ride through the velvet night with nowhere to go. Every late shift now is just a down payment on then. When 11 o'clock feels like the place we begin. When 11 o'clock feels like the place we begin. I can see the exact shade of the night air. Warm breeze pushing past the floor to ceiling glass. We paid every debt, we outlasted the doubt. Now the evening belongs to whatever we want. 9:45 on that dashboard clock. We will get there soon. Just listen to the bass line. Future evening, waiting for us. A chip black matchbook sits between our glasses. The bassline hums a low thread through the floor. I watch the sofa strip, tracing where the ashes, wondering why you're quiet by the door. My phone vibrates against the mahogany grain. A name I shouldn't answer, a conversation I delay. The evening air thickens like incoming rain, and I'm counting every single word we choose not to say. The shadow on your collarbone shifts under the dim amber light. I know that look, it means we're running out of time tonight. My heart heart is pacing faster than the tempo of the song. We both know somebody in this room is doing wrong. Doubt has a rhythm that plays inside my chest, a heavy-handed tempo that won't give me any rest. When 7 o'clock strikes and the shadows start to lean, we talk around the damage sitting everywhere between. I take another sip just to give my hands a task. You look into my eyes, but you never really ask. The bartender clears the salsa 3 tables down. I pull my thumb across the matchbook's worn edge. This city knows how to wear a neon crown while pushing 2 people right over the ledge. I feel the heat rising in the back of my throat, my ego wanting to fight, my pride wanting to run. You adjust the silver zipper on your leather coat, and the evening tension tells me we've barely begun. The shadow on your collarbone shifts under the dim amber light. I know that look, it means we're running out of time tonight. My heart is pacing faster than the tempo of the song. We both know somebody in this room is doing wrong. Doubt has a rhythm that plays inside my chest, a heavy-handed tempo that won't give me any rest. When 7 o'clock strikes and the shadows start to lean, we talk around the damage sitting everywhere between. I take another sip just to give my hands a task. You look into my eyes, but you never really ask. One spark could set this entire table ablaze. I see my own reflection in the polish of the wood. We've been trapped inside this standoff for days, pretending that the silence is understood. My fingers twitch toward the matches once more. If I strike now, do we burn or do we heal? The bass drops heavy, shaking the barroom floor, forcing us to own what we refuse to feel. Doubt has a rhythm that plays inside my chest, a heavy-handed tempo that won't give me any rest. When 7 o'clock strikes and the shadows start to lean, we talk around the damage sitting everywhere between. I take another sip just to give my hands a task. You look into my eyes, but you never really ask. The matchbook stays closed under my palm. Outside, the street lights catch the evening fog. We sit in the middle of an artificial calm, 2 ghosts stuck inside a heavy monologue. The bass fades out, the tension stays. The tension stays. Bass rattles from an idling sedan outside your 3rd floor porch. You stand there staring at your phone like it holds every cure. I see the static in your shoulders, heavy from the week. You work yourself into a corner where you rarely speak. Throw on that oversized jacket, don't worry about your hair. The sun went down an hour ago and left the cooler air. I brought 2 cans of cold brew and a speaker for the deck. It's time to roll the tension back and put the stress in check.
The city lights are turning neon green across the glass. Stop looking at the clock and let the heavy hours pass. You have been fighting every battle on your own again. Tonight you just relax and kick it with a friend.
You owe yourself a breather, take a seat right here. We can talk about the future or just sip this beer.
Feel the bass line shaking through the concrete floor. Leave your worries hanging right outside the door.
The evening got a rhythm that was made for us. No deadlines calling, ain't no need to rush.
You owe yourself a breather, let the tension fade.
Best decisions of the night are ones we never made. Remember back in 2020 when we had no dough? We would sit round the fire escape and watch the traffic flow.
Now you got the fancy job, the rent is paid on time, but you forgot the simple feeling of an easy mind.
Unlace your sneakers, let your feet hit up the rug. I brought that vinyl record that you always loved. Listen to that snare drum popping softly in the room. We are turning off the bright lights, clearing out the gloom.
You owe yourself a breather, take a seat right here. We can talk about the future or just sip this beer. Feel the bass line shaking through the concrete floor. Leave your worries hanging right outside the door.
The evening got a rhythm that was made for us. No deadlines calling, ain't no need to rush.
You owe yourself a breather, let the tension fade.
Best decisions of the night are ones we never made. Listen, 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 listen to the city breathing slow out on the street. Every tired soul is looking for a place to meet. You do not have to carry every weight inside your head. Let the low end kick and hear the words I said. We built this brotherhood on days much worse than this. So take a second, breathe it in and find your quiet bliss.
Just kick your feet up, brother. The night is young and soft. We got nowhere to be till tomorrow afternoon. Let that beat just ride. Take your time.
Sweet jasmine and burning clove drift across the back courtyard. He leans his shoulder on the painted brick wall, watching her pull the cardigan tight. The evening air thickens as the city lights kick into gear. Neither of them speaks, but every breath carries a heavy weight. His fingertips tap a quiet rhythm against his glass. She checks her phone screen, only looking for a reason to glance his way. The sun is gone, leaving a deep indigo trace. Tension pulls tight in the space between their shoes. They both know how this night usually goes. One step closer and the quiet starts to break. He feels the sudden shift in the ambient heat. She lowers her eyes, taking one deliberate step across the tile. Two shadows blending under the dim amber glow. The evening tension hangs heavy, unsaid and slow. Nobody moves too fast when the mood turns real. Just an unspoken promise waiting for the dark to seal. She swirls the ice cubes until the glass condensation runs down. He steps into her orbit, dropping his voice down to a murmur. The smell of rain-soaked pavement drifts up from the street below. Her laughter is low, caught somewhere in the throat. Every glance holds an unspoken question about where they end up tonight. He reaches out, brushing a loose coil of hair behind her ear. The sun is gone, leaving a deep indigo trace. Tension pulls tight in the space between their shoes. They both know how this night usually goes. One step closer and the quiet starts to break. He feels the sudden shift in the ambient heat. She lowers her eyes, taking one deliberate step across the tile. Two shadows blending under the dim amber glow. The evening tension hangs heavy, unsaid and slow. Nobody moves too fast when the mood turns real. Just an unspoken promise waiting for the dark to seal. Streetlights hum a distant low frequency. She tilts her chin, daring him to bridge the remaining inches. The static in the air vibrates through the cool night wind. No words required when the body language says it clear. Sweet jasmine and clove still hang in the night breeze. He takes her hand as the venue doors click shut behind them. The evening tension settles into something real. Two shadows merging into the midnight dark. An unannounced suspicion cuts the quiet. We're burning through the stillness of our shared apartment. You lean against the kitchen counter, count away. Ice melting slowly in a crystal highball glass. The orange street lamp pushes through the blinds, striping your silk shirt in amber lines. Neither of us speaks, but the hum of the fridge feels like a bass line building up to a bridge.
Dusk settles deep inside the ceiling trim. Your eyes catch mine, the edges turning dim. We know the conversation waiting in the dark, just waiting for a single friction spark.
Evening tension thick enough to hold in your hand.
Two stubborn hearts sinking in the midnight sand.
We trace the heavy silence with the nervous glance.
Trapped inside this slow and deliberate dance.
The city hums outside the double pane glass,
waiting for the quiet hours finally to pass.
You set the glass down on the marble top, a tiny clink of sound that makes the clock stop. Your shadow stretches long across the hardwood floor, framing the distance from the sofa to the door. A sudden thought of leaving flashes through my head. Didn't wait on every word we left unsaid. You pull your hair back, breath coming out slow, holding on to feeling that we both already know.
Dusk settles deep inside the ceiling trim. Your eyes catch mine, the edges turning dim. We know the conversation waiting in the dark, just waiting for a single friction spark.
Evening tension thick enough to hold in your hand.
Two stubborn hearts sinking in the midnight sand.
We trace the heavy silence with the nervous glance.
Trapped inside this slow and deliberate dance.
The city hums outside the double pane glass,
waiting for the quiet hours finally to pass.
Camera pans back from the open balcony door, curtains swirling like waves against the floor. Every unspoken secret hangs suspended in air as you take one step closer to my chair.
No loud voices needed when the pulse runs high. We count the heavy seconds in this quiet plot. Number light fading into purple shade. Promises we almost made. The ice has turned to water now. We pull each other close somehow. Stillness swallowed by the night, fading out of sight.
Who decided 6 p.m. meant missing somebody you never even held? Ice melting slowly at the bottom of a cheap rum tumbler on my desk. Car tires slicking over wet asphalt down on the main avenue, and my mind is jumping gears from rent payments to the curve of your collarbone. Why do I always think in half-written emails I will never send? The old radiator hums a low octave against the baseboard. I'm tracing the blue vein in my left wrist like a subway map, wondering if you are stuck in downtown traffic right now, or if you're just stuck in your own head the exact same way. Dusk hits the blinds like a bruised purple knuckle. My phone battery is sitting quietly at 9%, and I am debating whether to plug it in or let the dark win. Just let the dark win for one solid hour. Where does the heat go when the sun drops below the skyline? Feeling that evening tension stretching out thin, pulling at my chest like a snag thread in an old sweater. Too late to finish any real work, too early to lie down and sleep, drifting through the quiet while the bass in my ribs keeps beat. Still wondering who we become when nobody is watching us fade. Yeah, neon open sign across the street, flickering red, then pale pink, then nothing. I remember just sudden laugh from 2 Tuesdays ago, or maybe that was just a podcast episode I play while folding laundry. Everything bleeds together when the sky turns to bruised lavender. My thumb hovers endlessly over a recorded voice note. Should I order greasy takeout or just drink cold tap water and stare at the ceiling? The city breeze heavier around 7:30 like a heavyweight fighter holding his breath before the night kicks in. Where does the heat go when the sun drops below the skyline? I am feeling that evening tension stretching out thin, pulling at my chest like a snag thread in an old sweater. Too late to finish any real work, too early to lie down and sleep, drifting through the quiet while the bass in my ribs keeps beat. Still wondering who we become thought loop, running on the endless loop inside my temple. Did I leave the kitchen burner on? Or am I just terrified of turning 30? Heavy footsteps echoing on the stairs outside my apartment door. Passing by, always passing by, never stopping at 4B. I turned the thermostat down on purpose tonight, just to feel something cold enough to snap me out of this drift. Long shadows stretching clear across the dusty hardwood floor. That same unanswerable question still hanging in the air. No response coming through the quiet receiver, just the low constant hum of the refrigerator. And the twilight settling in real slow, just settling in real slow. An old swivel chair takes my entire body weight as the twilight settles in. I lean back against the worn cushion while the low bass starts to spin. The clock hit 7:30 and the room fills up with quiet blue. I pull out a blank notebook, thinking back to what you went through. Kid in the oversized hoodie, stressing over every tiny mistake. Staying up past midnight, wondering how much pressure you could take. You thought the sky was falling down whenever a door would close. You held your breath through every winter, waiting for a rose. Now the evening rhythm lands so easy on my chest. I just wanna write it down and tell you you can rest. Relax your shoulders, let the bassline carry all your doubt. You made it through the nights you thought you couldn't figure out. The room is quiet now, the tension melts right off the frame. I wear the vintage jacket that you save, calling out your name. Take a breath, little dreamer, we turned out just fine. Pouring out this slow vibe for you, one line at a time. Remember hiding all your lyrics under the mattress on the floor. Scared somebody's casual judgment would shut down the open door. You carried every heavy silence like it was your fault to bear. Now I sit here with a full heart and comfort in the air. The city lights outside are flashing purple through the blinds. All those frantic anxieties left far behind our minds. The sky was falling down whenever a door would close. You held your breath through every winter, waiting for a rose. Now the evening rhythm lands so easy on my chest. I just wanna write it down and tell you you can rest. Relax your shoulders, let the bassline carry all your doubt. You made it through the nights you thought you couldn't figure out. The room is quiet now, the tension melts right off the frame. I wear the vintage jacket that you saved, calling out your name. Take a breath, little dreamer, we turned out just fine. Pouring out this slow vibe for you, one line at a time. No more chasing shadows down that empty corridor. We do not have to fight the battles you bled for anymore. The floorboards hold it steady, the beat is swinging slow. I am living in the future that you prayed so hard to know. Fold the paper gently, place it right beside the desk lamp glow. The room is warm and steady, feeling soft and low. Sleep good tonight, young heart, the heavy work is done. We built a quiet sanctuary out of every battle won. Indigo. Indigo neon casts a heavy stain across the counter. You slide your empty glass an inch toward mine. You ask if I come here to lose my head or find it. I tell you usually I just come here to pass the time. The city outside is cooling down to 60 degrees. Your jacket smells like winter clothes and bus exhaust. You laugh real quiet, leaning in with folded knees, asking if the hours I spend here ever feel lost. We do not trade our names or where we live. There is a freedom in the words we choose to give. The heavy bass line hums beneath the floor. Nobody asked what we were looking for. Late evening tension hanging in the space between two strangers speaking truths we never say by day. In the soft shadow where the light turns green, we strip the heavy armors of our lives away. You sip your I trace the wood in a ring, finding comfort in the quiet edge of everything. Yeah, you say your job feels like a suit 3 sizes small. I tell you I forgot the last time I felt fully awake. We trade these secret failures up against the wall, counting every promise that we had to break. Yeah, you light a sparks a small orange flicker in the blue. You offer me a drag, I shake my head and smile. There is no pressure here for anything to be true, just two exhausted souls sharing a little while. We do not trade our names or where we live. There is a freedom in the words we choose to give. The heavy bassline hums beneath the floor. Nobody asked what we were looking for. Late evening tension hanging in the space between two strangers speaking truths we never say by day. In the soft shadow where the light turns green, we strip the heavy armors of our lives away. You sip your I trace the wooden ring, finding comfort in the quiet edge of everything. The bartender clears the salt shaker off the stand. Last call is whispered like a secret in the dark. You check your phone, put it face down in your hand. We reached the end before we even made a mark. No numbers written down on paper napkins here, just two ghosts fading as the morning gets too near. Indigo light washes over the pavement as we step outside. You nod goodbye and pull your collar tight. Nothing left to prove and nowhere left to hide. Just a stranger who understood the night. You claim yesterday that I overthink every second after 7 p.m. Now I sit here cataloging shadows on the counter, a red line on the corner of an unpaid bill. The faint buzz of the ice maker kicking on, and the way my phone screen dims automatically. The hallway radiator gives 2 sharp knocks. It's a tiny tear on the vinyl chair cushion, and a half-empty mug of tea grown cold. The night starts leaning on the window pane, pulling all these tiny pieces tight. I watch the quiet accumulate, every little sign coming into light. This is the tension in the evening hours, counting every detail in the dim back room. An unread text, a flickering street light outside, the smell of damp asphalt through the screen door. I hold each little thing until it settles down, listening to the city turn its volume low. A silver wrapper resting by the couch, the blue glow from the digital clock changing numbers. My neighbor shuts his door with a heavy thud, and a drop of tap water hits the porcelain sink. Your words from yesterday stay floating near the ceiling, mixed with the hum of the passing bus outside. A forgotten coat hanging crooked on the rack, my shadow stretching longer on the floorboards. Maybe you were right about the way I collect every minor shit before the night gets late. The scratch on the glass, the cool draft under the door, the way the room feels heavy right before 8. This is the tension in the evening hours, counting every detail in the dim back room. An unread text, the flickering street light outside, the smell of damp asphalt through the screen door. I hold each little thing until it settles down, listening to the city turn its volume low. paper filter drying in the sink. A single key ring resting on the ledge. Your voice still echoing from yesterday. The clock ticks slow on the edge. Fake corduroy ribs snag my thumb as dusk pulls his curtain down tight. The apartment goes quiet and numb, drowning in amber tone light. I run my palms over the sleeve. You bought me 3 winters ago, back when we both used to believe we had somewhere better to go. The fabric hose, phantom perfume, vanilla mixed in with cold smoke. It suddenly fills up the room and leaves me with words I never spoke. 6 p.m. hits with a quiet punch, knocking the air from my chest. We used to order late dinner and lunch, leaving our worries unexpressed. Now the clock tick-tocks on the wall, bringing back every fight we delayed. You were standing under that flickering street lamp glow, screaming my name in the middle of November rain. I held on to your coat because I couldn't let go, trying to absorb all your quiet, unspoken pain. Now the dust brings it back like an uninvited ghost, touching this thread where your fingers used to rest. I miss the girl who used to hurt me the most, while the evening settles heavy in my chest. I remember the exact way your hands would bunch up the hem of this sweater whenever you made your demands, I swore we would end up much better. The tension was thick in the hall, your keys jingling hard in your fist. We built up an invisible wall out of every single deadline we missed. I pull off the jacket and stare at the stitchwork starting to yield. There's a shadow of you standing there, and a wound that was never quite healed. 6 p.m. hits with a heavy weight, shadows stretch out on the floor. I catch myself waiting up late for a key turning inside the door. You were standing under that flickering street lamp glow, screaming my name in the middle of November rain. I held on to your coat because I couldn't let go, trying to absorb all your quiet, unspoken pain. Now the dust brings it back like an uninvited ghost, touching this thread where your fingers used to rest. I miss the girl who used to hurt me the most, while the evening settles heavy in my chest. We thought we were young enough to break things and heal. We thought every tear was just a cinematic scene. Now I sit alone with the way that I feel, stuck in the space that opened up in between. The weave of this cloth is the only thing left that remembers the heat of your skin on my own. A subtle, slow memory theft, leaving me stranded here, fully alone. Freight corduroy under my hand. The sun sinks beneath the skyline. I wonder if you understand how your ghost takes up all of my time. Night falls over the floorboards, just threads and memory now. 11:42 blinks red against the dark. I project us forward past the modern park. Picture a balcony 30 stories high, where we pour expensive wine under a quiet sky. You'll wear that silk shirt you haven't bought yet, breathing in the rhythm of a canceled debt. The city hums low like a bass line in reverse. We finally outran the heavy family curse. I can feel that future evening pulling on my sleeve, every single promise that we chose to believe. The room is dim and warm, the velvet curtains drop. When the clock strikes midnight, time is gonna stop. We will wear the midnight like a velvet suit, reading all the labor of the bitter root, heavy, low, and vibrating through the hardwood floor. across the street. I see your shadow swaying by the kitchen island bar. No more counting pennies for a broken car. You dropped the needle on a record not yet pressed. Finally giving all your crowded thoughts a rest. We don't need to speak to keep the tension thick. Slow rotation watching every second tick. That future version of you leans against my chest. Safe inside the sanctuary we possess. I can feel that future evening pulling on my sleeve. Every single promise that we chose to believe. The room is dim and warm, the velvet curtains drop. When the clock strikes midnight, time is gonna stop. We will wear the midnight like a velvet suit, reaping all the labor of the bitter root. Heavy low and vibrating through the hardwood floor. Nobody can tell us what we're striving for. Just your hand in my hand. Quiet evening heat, looking down at glass and steel across the street. Hey. Right now we're in this narrow room with peeling paint, trying to stay patient while the world acts sane. But I close my eyes and I am standing there with you, wrapped in 5 years later where the sky turns deep dark blue. Can you smell the lavender? Can you feel the bass? Everything we wanted sitting right in place. We will wear the midnight like a velvet suit, reaping all the labor of the bitter root. Heavy low and vibrating through the hardwood floor. Nobody can tell us what we're striving for. Just your hand in my hand. Quiet evening heat, looking down at glass and steel across the street. 11:42 blinks on the present wall. I hold you tight tonight until the future calls. Just a few more winters till we reach that view, wearing midnight like it was tailored just for two. A silver signet ring reflects the lowland glow. I spin it 3 times fast and watch it settle slow. The bass in my chest competes with the quiet room. 7 p.m. always carries the sudden gloom. I pull my collar up, leaning into the couch, holding back every heavy truth I used to pouch. The city lights outside start buzzing in my ears. I measure all my progress by these quiet fears. The evening hits a different kind of nerve, taking every sharp edge I refuse to serve. I count my breathing just to anchor down before the night noise swallows up this town. My shadow arrives early tonight, standing in the doorway, blocking out the light. I got a couple things I need to settle with myself instead of stacking pride back on the dusty shelf. The rhythm in my pulse is running way too fast, trying to build a future that outruns the past. I stare at my knuckles, tracing every line, asking if the timeline I picked was really mine. Got 20 missed calls I do not intend to return. Sometimes you gotta let the slow bridges burn. The sub bass from the hallway floor vibrates my shoes. I am not looking for sympathy or cheap news, just trying to calibrate the pressure in my ribs, distracting myself from all these comfortable fibs. My shadow arrives early tonight, standing in the doorway, blocking out the light. I got a couple things I need to settle with myself instead of stacking pride back on the dusty shelf. The rhythm in my pulse is running way too fast, trying to build a future that outruns the past. Late hours for some man to speak his honest name. No audience around to applaud the game. I tap my fingertips against the oak tabletop, waiting for the spinning ring to finally stop. The metal settles down, 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 down. The room goes still. I stop running from the bill. My shadow stares skateboard wheel click against the pavement outside my window. You lean against the kitchen counter, jacket half unzipped. I can tell by how you roll your shoulders that the boss was rough. You haven't said a single word since you walked through the door. Just set your heavy keys down on the glass side table. The city outside keeps buzzing, but in here the clock slows down. Kick off those beat up sneakers by the mat. We do not have to talk about the rent or the deadlines tonight. Pour 2 glasses of ice water and let the baseline breathe. You look like you've been fighting battles nobody saw. When you drop your armor at the threshold, brother, you don't need to hold the world together on your own. The evening air is heavy, but we got nowhere to be. Let the street noise fade behind the window screen. We can sit in this quiet until you feel like yourself again. A delivery scooter revs its engine down on the avenue. Yeah, you finally take a seat, sink back into the warm fabric. Your phone screen lights up 3 times, but you face it down. Good call, my friend, the world can wait until tomorrow morning. Remember when we thought 25 meant we had it figured out? Now we just celebrate surviving another 12-hour shift. Kick off those beat up sneakers by the mat. We do not have to talk about the rent or the deadlines tonight. Pour 2 glasses of ice water and let the baseline breathe. You look like you've been fighting battles nobody saw. When you drop your armor at the threshold, brother, you don't need to hold the world together on your own. The evening air is heavy, but we got nowhere to be. Let the street noise fade behind the window screen. We can sit in this quiet until you feel like yourself again. The low end from my speaker hums through the floorboards. You take a deep breath, head tilted back against the wall. It takes courage to admit when the weight is getting real. I am right here with you, man, no judgment. In this room we build our lives brick by brick, but tonight we rest the tools. Sirens fade out somewhere 5 miles north. Your breathing slows down to match the tempo of the track. Just stay right here. No pressure, no talk. Just rest tonight, my friend. Damn cedar and warm bergamot hang heavy in the foyer. She slides off her coat. He sits on the edge of the leather sofa, holding the glass that has lost its chill. Neither one mentions the phone call from 6 p.m., but the air carries the weight of it. She checks her watch, pretending the hours matter, while he stares at the shadow on the rug. The bass from the downstairs neighbor thumps through the floorboards like a slow heartbeat. Wordless promises hang suspended in the middle of the room. Every small movement carries a quiet warning. They know what happens if someone speaks first tonight, so they let the dust take over the corners. It is 7:30 and the static is thick. 2 silhouettes leaning close to the edge. Nobody is walking out that front door, but nobody is taking the first step either. Just a subtle heat rising in the dark. This quiet tension holding them right where they stand. She pours cold water into a glass, ice cooking soft against the crystal edge. He turns his head just enough to catch her reflection in the patio door. They used to clear the air with late night drives around the ring road. Now they measure the inches between their shadows on the hardwood floor. Her fingers trace the edge of the granite island, hesitating near his wrist. He catches his breath, feeling the pulse in his throat before he pulls back an inch. Wordless promises hang suspended in the middle of the room. Every small movement carries a quiet warning. They know what happens if someone speaks first tonight, so they let the dust take over the corners. It is 7:30 and the static is thick. 2 silhouettes leaning close to the edge. Nobody is walking out that front door, but nobody is taking the first step either. Just a subtle heat rising in the dark. This quiet tension holding them right right where they stand. He steps toward the hallway light switch, stop and half a normal way. She lowers her head, listening to the hum of the refrigerator. If she moves left, she touches his shoulder. If he stays still, the night stays broken. The city outside hums low and steady, unaware but the standstill indoors. The smell of wet cedar and sweet bergamot still lingers near the sill. Two shadows stretched out long on the hallway runner, neither moving, neither speaking, just evening holding its breath. A forgotten phrase breaks the quiet, rippling through the stillness of this kitchen alcove. The lens pulls back from the sweaty tumbler, amber liquor reflecting the streetlights outside. Yeah, you sit across the granite counter, fingers tracing the rim of a crystal glass. The silence was thick enough to hold until my mind pulled up what you whispered last April. Slow pan to the shadow on the velvet couch. Your breathing matches the low hum of the fridge. We do not need a script for this lighting, just the low frequency rattling in our chest. Hold the exposure on this evening heat, where the bass hits soft and the smoke hangs deep. Two shadows caught in a tight close-up, drinking down the tension from a shared glass cup. No dialogue needed when the room burns slow, just the golden hour fading in a steady glow. Camera cuts to the doorway framed in red. You shift your weight, leaving words unsaid. Focus pulls sharply to the space between our hands. A 4-inch gap where the atmosphere expands. Ice shifts against glass with a muffled chime. Tracking shot moving in real time. You lean forward back like catching your neck. A quiet scene that leaves the heart a wreck. Slow pan to the shadow on the velvet couch. Your breathing matches the low hum of the fridge. We do not need a script for this lighting, just the low frequency rattling in our chest. Hold the exposure on this evening heat, where the bass hits soft and the smoke hangs deep. Two shadows caught in a tight close-up, drinking down the tension from a shared glass cup. No dialogue needed when the room burns slow, just the golden hour fading in a steady glow. Flicker of a neon sign from the alley down below. Color grading shifts from maroon to indigo. One shot, no edits, letting the tension breathe. Wondering what secrets we about to leave. Your eyes lock on to mine in the shallow depth of field, and every hidden motive is silently revealed. Fade out slowly on the silhouette, the quietest frame that I will not forget. Dust settles deep on the 31st floor, static on the vinyl as you lock the door. Roll the credits, screen turns dark. What makes a body stay still while the mind runs lap? Ceiling fan spinning like a clock spinning backwards in the dark. Ice melting down to water in a glass I forgot I was holding. Phone screen flashes a brief blue glow, then dies before my fingers touch it. Maybe I want a message, maybe I just need a vibration and prove I exist right now. Low frequency bass hums through the floorboards from 3 doors down. Someone is throwing a party, someone is crying, someone is staring at the ceiling just like me. Thoughts bleeding into thoughts without a boundary or a pause. Static settling heavy in the clenching of my jaws. I can feel the indoor air growing thick around my shoulders. Every minute getting quieter, every shadow getting bolder. We float inside this evening tension, caught in the pool. Empty in these quiet thoughts until the room feels full. Is it real emotion or just the hour making everything loud? Drifting through the late hours way above the sleeping crowd, holding all the impulses that not even have a name. Forehead leaning cool against a double pane window glass. Taillights stretching like dying embers down the avenue. Did I mean what I said 3 hours ago? Or was that just a mood talking? Sneakers resting by the hallway door. Heels one thin from endless walking. I open up a draft, type 3 words, then erase them back to blank. So groove repeating in my head. A slow bass line that refuses to sink. Unfinished sentences hanging like dust motes in the dim yellow glow. We float inside this evening tension, caught in the pool, empty in these quiet thoughts until the room feels full. Is it real emotion or just the hour making everything loud, drifting through the late hours way above the sleeping crowd, holding on to impulses that do not even have a name. If the clock stops here, does the feeling linger on, or does it burn away clean before the arrival of dawn? I am tangled in the thread of a late night mental drift, watching how the contours of the furniture shift. No answers anywhere, just the rhythm and the pulse. Still leaning at the window frame, ice completely gone into the water. Baseline fading away down the corridor. The unanswered question hanging suspended in the dark. Just the quiet and the pulse. Deep springs inside the cushion sink. They're everything I carry home tonight. I'm sitting right where you used to sit, staring at the same low ceiling light. I know your shoulders are tight at 21, but worrying if the rent check clears. You used to bite your lip until it bled, counting up your doubts and fears. The bass in the alleyways bumping slow, streetlights painting shadows on the rug. I am writing this note through the evening, quiet, giving your young heart a nod and a hug. You thought the dark was meant for panicking. You thought the night was just a ticking clock. Look at me breathing in this quiet room. Listen to the way the city stops. Rest your tired eyes, little brother. You are gonna be fine. We made a lane out of dead end streets and borrowed time. Ooh. The tension in the air tonight is just the beat dropping low. Stop fighting every single shadow that you do not know. I promise you, the morning finds a way to grow. Remember when you stayed awake till 4, convinced that you were falling way behind. You wrote 100 songs nobody heard, losing your peace of mind. I wear the leather coat you saved up for. I walk through doors you only dreamed to touch. So put the pen down, take a deeper breath. You never had a strain so much. The evening air is heavy with the mellow soul. Vinyl spinning soft against the needle tip. You do not have to prove your worth to anyone on this midnight trip. Rest your tired eyes, little brother. You are gonna be fine. We made a lane out of dead end streets and borrowed time. Ooh. The tension in the air tonight is just the beat dropping low. Stop fighting every single shadow that you do not know. I promise you, the morning finds a way to grow. If I could send a whisper through the wall of 10 long years, I would tell you that the hunger only turned into clear vision. Every late night that was just a lesson in decision. You are safe now. The chair supports us both. The city lights glow, amber on the wall. You made it through it all. Put your head back, let the evening take the fall. Magenta floods the vinyl booth where you sit alone. You slide your phone across the laminate surface face down. I ask if that stool is taking you now without looking up. The city outside bleeds from Plum into heavy charcoal. You say the hours after 5 always feel like borrowed time. I lean against the wooden edge and tell you I agree. Two working minds shedding the weight of 12 whole hours. We do not trade names, just the friction in our lungs. The ice melts slow inside two heavy glass tumblers. Something in the evening air makes the truth come easy. We talk like old friends who never had a past to ruin. No promises made, just watching the streetlights ignite. You tell me what you left behind in another country. I tell you why I walk home through the longest alleyway. Just two shadows passing through the sunset tension, finding a rhythm before the night settles in. Yeah, your knuckles have faint ink stains near the thumb. You say you paint murals that people paint over by Monday. I laugh into my cup, admitting my days are just spreadsheets. We trade small secrets like currency with no real value. The orange post behind the glass turns to deep violet. Neither of us moves toward the exit sign by the bar. Two working minds shedding the weight of 12 whole hours. We do not trade names, just the friction in our lungs. The ice melts slow inside two heavy glass tumblers. Something in the evening air makes the truth come easy. We talk like old friends who never had a past to ruin. No promises made, just watching the streetlights ignite. You tell me what you left behind in another country. I tell you why I walk home through the longest alleyway. Just two shadows passing through the sunset tension, finding a rhythm before the night settles in. Yeah, the bartender clears a plate 3 seats down. You ask me if I think people ever really change. I tell you we change. Every time the sky turns dark, even if it only lasts until the morning alarm calls us back. You smile at the mirror behind the top shelf bottles. We drink to the quiet relief of being completely unknown. The light outside is pure pitch black now. You leave a folded bill beside your glass and stand up. A short night goodbye, no phone numbers written down. Just the quiet residue of a conversation in the dusk. The tension fades, leaving only the cool air. Yeah. Yesterday you mentioned I talk slower when dusk arrives. I watch condensation trickle down my iced tea glass. A yellow cab out us 2 floors below the open window. Your left earring sits sideways on the glass table. The bass from upstairs vibrates through the wooden beam. I count 3 missed calls glowing on a silent screen. Every little detail gathers in the shade. We do not need to speak to fill the space. The evening pulls us into a heavy, slow tempo, holding the quiet right where it belongs. Slower words as the room dims down. A half-lit screen on the kitchen bar. Street lamp light cutting through the blinds. We sit in the quiet while the city hums loud. Just small observations keeping us grounded right now. A hallway door click shut 3 doors down the corridor. A plastic fork rests inside a folded paper box. Your thumb traces the worn seam of the couch cushion. Cool air drifts in, carrying a faint sense of rain and asphalt. 2 shadows stretch long across the dark hardwood floor. You shift your weight and the floorboard answers one. Slower words as the room dims down. A half-lit screen on the kitchen bar. Street lamp light cutting through the blinds. We sit in the quiet while the city hums loud. Just small observations keeping us grounded right now. Yesterday something still settles between us. You said I change when the sky turns deep purple. Maybe I just notice every tiny piece moving, the way your breath catches before you speak. Ice melts down into the bottom of the cup. The neon sign across the street flickers twice. Slow words in a darkening room. Just small things floating in the evening tide. Wash linen weave pulls against my wrist, draped over the back of this velvet armchair. 7 p.m. settles like a heavy mist, and suddenly I am standing right back there. October air, cold enough to see our breath. You wore that oversized coat you borrowed from your brother. We sat on the hood, talking about life and death, trying so hard not to look directly at each other. The bass from the lower apartment starts to thud, vibrating through the floorboard into my shoes. That same slow rhythm rushing in my blood, bringing back the exact hue of those evening blues. I press my thumb into the soft frayed hem, and I am back in your passenger seat again. The room turns gold as the streetlights ignite, bringing back every word we left in the dark. We had that heavy evening tension holding us tight, a delicate flame looking for a spark. Now I feel the weave, I feel the weight of the years, listening to the bass line echo in my ears. We were young, caught between the stay and the go, moving in slow motion under the dashboard glow. Course thread snagged on my index fingernail, a subtle reminder of the night we stopped pretending. You made a joke about how easily plans fail, while the quiet between us felt never ending. Your thumb traced the cuff from my faded sleeve, asking if the silence meant I wanted to leave. I did not answer then, I just leaned back in the shade, watching the sunset colors slowly fade. The room turns gold as the streetlights ignite, bringing back every word we left in the dark. We had that heavy evening tension holding us tight, a delicate flame looking for a spark. Now I feel the weave, I feel the weight of the years, listening to the bass line echo in my ears. We were young, caught between the stay and the go, moving in slow motion under the dashboard glow. Tension was not anger, it was just a fear. The touching you would make the fantasy break. 6 years later and the memory is so clear, it is the only real thing keeping me awake. I run my palms across the fabric folding for 3 short minutes. I am never growing old. Wash linen hanging in the dim light, the baseline fades into the quiet street. Just a memory keeping me company tonight. Soft fabric, heavy heartbeat for beat. Sir, 720 B shines from the corner shelf. I picture 5 years ahead, just you and myself. We're on the floor with the floor, the ceiling glass, watching the city traffic slow down and pass. You'll slide your rings off onto the marble countertop, and the heavy bass in the living room won't stop. We won't talk about the shift work we used to do. Just let the dark purple skyline settle in the room. I can see the ice melt in your glass. We'll be laughing at how fast the seasons pass. No missed calls, no overdue bills to pay. Just late night tension holding us in place. In that future evening when the lights drop low, we'll turn off the phones and let the bass drum roll slow, pulling energy thick in the air, running your long fingers through your braided hair. We'll be right where we swore we'd end up at, pouring top shelf liquor on a velvet mat, feeling every that future evening spark. Yeah, I see the dim amber light hitting your collarbone. A brand new address that we finally call our own. You tilt your head back, listen to the snare drop. Standing in the kitchen till the midnight hours stop. We won't care who's calling or what the critics say, cause we earned every single shadow in this hallway. I'll step up behind you, hands on your waistline, living up the scene that I built inside my mind. I can see the ice melt in your glass. We'll be laughing at how fast the seasons pass. No missed calls, no overdue bills to pay. Just late night tension holding us in place. In that future evening when the lights drop low, we'll turn off the phones and let the bass drum roll slow. Pulling energy thick in the air, running your long fingers through your braided hair. We'll be right where we swore we'd end up at, pouring top shelf liquor on a velvet mat. Feeling every beat of that future evening spark. Right now it's just a vision in a cramped back room, but I can already smell your expensive French perfume. I close my eyes and the future feels so near. The heavy evening tension finally clearing all the fear. We'll take our time, no rushing out the door, leaving our silk shirts scattered on the floor. In that future evening when the lights drop low, we'll turn off the phones and let the bass drum roll slow. Pulling energy thick in the air, running your long fingers through your braided hair. We'll be right where we swore we'd end up at, pouring top shelf liquor on a velvet mat. Feeling every beat of that future evening spark. 7:23 on that future display. We'll be alright when the sun fades away. Just you, me, and the bassline hum, waiting for that future night to come. Dim the halogen down, let the evening pulse inside us. A scuff breath, try to rest beside my throne. The candle wick is cold, the apartment numb. I count the clicks before the spark takes hold. Filter in the silence as the air turns cold. Outside the city hums its 8 o'clock routine, while I am floating in the space between. My shoulders drop but my mind stays tight, wrestling the current of a heavy night. The sub bass ripples through the hardwood floor. I told myself I wouldn't overthink no more. This evening air carries a sudden surge, where all my quiet doubts begin to merge. I let the tempo take its slow control. Unsettled low end moving through my chest. This evening tension never lets me rest. I tune the inner voice, I turn it loud, searching for peace inside a private cloud. The bass line heavy while the room turns dim. I sink beneath the surface just to swim. I roll my wrist, untie the knot inside my neck, checking my shadow like a missing check. It is 8:15 and the room feels charged. Every tiny thought getting oversized and large. I watch the metal reflection on the table edge, standing right beside a self-imposed ledge. Nobody calling, nobody checking in, just me and the record where the drums begin. Maybe the pressure is the thing I need, a slow burning fire planet like a seed. I do not need a car to validate the groove, just a dark corner where my soul can move. Let the rim shot crack, let the keys decay. I am carving out a kingdom at the end of day. Scuffed brass metal in the palm of my hand, finally starting to understand. The room goes still but the vibe stays deep. Unsettled low end before I sleep. Air brakes exhale against the curb below us. You stare into your glass like it holds the truth. The workout was wrapped but your shoulders stay tight, carrying the weight of a busy booth. Listen to the city shifting down its gears. We do not need to solve the rest of our street lamp hums a low, warm tone. You spent all day just holding up a wall. Now the sky turns plum, we are finally alone. Let the heavy feeling fall. Leave the remaining trouble on the pavement. We got a slow beat riding through the floor. You do not need to prove what your time was worth. Step into the evening and close that door. Feel the evening tension, soften out the grace. Ooh, 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 ooh. We are right where we need to be in this space. A horn blares off 3 blocks down the avenue. You loosen up your collar, taking in the draft. Remember when we talked about the bigger move? Now you just smile like a half remembered laugh. I brought 2 cold ones from the corner store. No pitch to make, no score to keep, no more. Leave the remaining trouble on the pavement. We got a slow beat riding through the floor. You do not need to prove what your time was worth. Step into the evening and close that door. Feel the evening tension, soften out the grace. Ooh, 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 ooh. We are right where we need to be in this space. The city baseline hums beneath our boots. You've been running hard, forgot where you stand. Tangle up the quiet, shake off the suits. Give the night a chance to take your hand. Tension melting off the brickwork now. Just you and me letting the hours roll. Exhaust fumes fading to the cooler breeze. We got the night back in control. Yeah. Toasted chicory and humid asphalt drift through the open passenger window. He rests his wrist on the steering wheel while the bass frequency vibrates the dashboard. She sits beside him, staring at the neon reflections pulling on her hood. Neither of them mentions the conversation they were supposed to finish 3 hours ago. The city lowers his voice as 6 o'clock bleeds into 8. He shifts into park, keeping the engine humming just to fill the quiet gap. The taillights cast a deep garnet shade across her collarbone. Every unspoken word weighs heavier than the summer heat on the stoop. He checks the rearview mirror just to catch a silhouette. She turns the radio knob half a notch to the left. They build a hot wire out of silent hours and dark alleyways. 2 stubborn hearts leaning against the steering wheel. As the bass rolls slow while the city hums its slow rhythm. Neither one moves, pulled tight by the evening strain. They know the drop is coming, but nobody breaks the line. She pulls her ring off her index finger and slides it back into place. The scent of sweet cocoa butter mixes with grease from the corner kitchen. He taps his thumb against the leather wrapping time with the kick drum. They came here to settle the score, but the atmospheric pressure won't allow it. A delivery bike cuts past the headlights, casting a fleeting shadow on her cheek. He opens his mouth to say her name, then lets the breath dissolve into the dark. The taillights cast a deep garnet shade across her collarbone. Every unspoken word weighs heavier than the summer heat on the stoop. He checks the rearview mirror just to catch a silhouette. She turns the radio knob half a notch to the left. They build a hot wire out of silent hours and dark alleyways. 2 stubborn hearts leaning against the steering wheel. As the bass rolls slow while the city hums its slow rhythm. Neither one moves, pulled tight by the evening strain. They know the drop is coming, but nobody breaks the line. Streetlights click the light one by one down the block. He reaches across the console, his knuckles nearly touching her coat sleeve. She doesn't pull away, but she doesn't close the distance either. The tension stretches thin as velvet, holding them right on the edge of the night. The engine out of cuts through the quiet neighborhood. Toasted chicory lingering a sure realization. A sharp realization pierces the quiet studio apartment, catching dust in the fading ray. You sit on the edge of the dark leather sofa, back turned toward the glass. The city below resolves into a grid of amber dots as ice shrinks in the glass. Neither of us has uttered a word since 6:32, yet the atmosphere stays heavy. The ceiling fan turns slowly, casting long grid-length shadows across the floorboards. You touch the edge of your phone, glance at the screen and drop it without a sound. Yeah, the camera shifts focus from your silhouette to the moisture on the tumbler. Every tick of the wall clock sounds like a mallet hitting velvet. In slow motion, we are holding our breath, waiting to see who claims the room first. The low bass line from the floor below vibrates gently beneath our heels. Focus the lens on the exact distance between your left hand and mine. Twilight pulls back its color, leaving only the neon sign from across the street. This evening tension builds a wall made entirely of things we almost spoke. Zooming on a steady pulse in your neck, all the blue out turns pitch black. We are locked inside this frame, suspended right before the storm breaks open. A match strikes with a quick yellow flare, lighting your jaw for 2 seconds. Then smoke curls into the vent, drifting past silver prints hung on exposed brick. You shift your weight, leaning forward with both elbows pressed against your knees. Outside, a passing taxi splashes through water, pulling gold ripples on the ceiling. Your ring taps twice against the glass coffee table, deliberating calm. I watch your eyes track the red taillights fading 3 floors down. The camera shifts focus from your silhouette to the moisture on the tumbler. Every tick of the wall clock sounds like a mallet hitting velvet. In slow motion, we are holding our breath, waiting to see who claims the room first. The low bass line from the floor below vibrates gently beneath our heels. Focus the lens on the exact distance between your left hand and mine. Twilight pulls back its color, leaving only the neon sign from across the street. This evening tension builds a wall made entirely of things we almost spoke. Zooming on a steady pulse in your neck while the blue outward turns pitch black. We are locked inside this frame, suspended right before the storm breaks open. Cut to a close-up of the brass keys resting on the marble counter. Wide shot reveals the wide gap dividing our shadows along the wall. No raised voices, no sudden turns, just 2 figures waiting for the light to shift. The radiator hums quietly in the corner, pushing warmth against our ankles. One small movement could break the entire script we built inside our heads. Fade to dark slowly as the street light outside blinks once and settles. Your shadow remains unmoving. My shadow stays beside it. The room rests in the dark. Only the low and below us freeze frame. Still legs pressed down against worn old planks tonight. The weight of this chair carries years you couldn't see. You were 19, sitting on a milk crate in the dark, staring at a phone that never rang, praying for a spark. Look at me sitting here in leather and heavy chrome, still carrying the silence that you brought into this home. The sun is dropping low behind the high-rise tower glass. I wish I could tell you that the cold nights actually pass. You held your breath until your lungs turned blue, scared the world would never make a space for you. Now the evening air is heavy, warm and slow, and I am writing down the things you needed to know. Relax your shoulders, clear, we made it through the storm. The studio is quiet and the bassline keeps us warm. That evening tension isn't monsters at the door. It's just the sound of living what we bargained for. Put down the worry that you wore like iron plate. You don't have to rush to meet a distant date. Remember how you starved your dreams just to feel safe. Counting every dollar, hiding in a rented space. You thought 25 meant failure if you weren't a king, but Look at how we ride the beat. Listen to the snare string. The bass drop hits the floorboard right where you used to sleep. Promises you made are ones I still intend to keep. Shadows stretch long across the muted rug. You didn't need to fight every ghost you tried to hug. You held your breath until your lungs turned blue. Scared the world would never make a space for you. Now the evening air is heavy, warm and slow. I am writing down the things you needed to know. Relax your shoulders, kid, we made it through the storm. The studio is quiet and the bassline keeps us warm. That evening tension isn't monsters at the door. It's just the sound of living what we bargained for. Put down the worry that you wore like iron plate. You don't have to rush to meet a distant date. The sea sinks lower under who I am today. Every bad decision helped us carve a better way. You were terrified of silence when the lights went dim. Now I sip this evening slow and learn to breathe within. I am the answer to the prayers you whispered late. Sitting in this chair while dusk settles on the gray. So let the evening rest. Stop fighting with your chest. The chair holds me up now. We figured out how. Rest easy, kid. We figured out how. Marigold halogen paints the corner table. You lean across the formica, sliding your glass 3 inches closer. You ask if I always sit with my back to the entrance. I tell you it depends on who is walking to the doorway. You smile into your ice cubes, adjusting a silver cuff. The bassline downstairs hums through the floorboards. We are two strangers measuring distance and polite questions. Neither of us ready to admit we were looking for company. Your voice drops an octave below the rim. You say nobody drinks alone on a Thursday by accident. I count the quiet seconds between your words. Static pulls the air tight between our sleeves. This evening holds a heavy kind of gravity. We talk in circles just to keep the room from cooling down. You pull your chair in half an inch, I'll leave my answer hanging in the air. No real name spoken, just the spark before the burn. Late hours trading rhythm with a stranger at the bar. You ask what brought me to this side of the city. I say a wrong turn that suddenly felt like the right one. You laugh subtle and low, tapping your ring against the stem. You tell me you came here to lose a thought you could not carry. Now we share the way between two coasters. The ice melts, taking its time just like your story. You ask if I believe in timing or just coincidence. I say I only believe in what stays steady under the bass. Your voice drops an octave below the rim. You say nobody drinks alone on a Thursday by accident. I count the quiet seconds between your words. Static pulls the air tight between our sleeves. This evening holds a heavy kind of gravity. We talk in circles just to keep the room from cooling down. You pull your chair in half an inch, I'll leave my answer hanging in the air. No real name spoken, just the spark before the burn. Late hours trading rhythm with a stranger at the bar. We do not need to make promises for midnight. We only need the tempo of the slow back and forth. You ask one more question with your eyes on the mirror. I give you the truth without giving away my home. Marigold halogen settling on the glass. Two strangers leaving the remaining words unsaid. The bassline carries what we leave behind. Just a quiet shift before the lights go dark. Yesterday you told me late hours, autumn months. I watch a silver coin balance on the counter edge. Condensation runs down a tin soda can, leaving a clear ring on the scratched laminate wood. A across the avenue. A sodium lamp flickers twice, then settles into a heavy amber hum. A courier in a lime reflective vest adjusts his helmet strapped with one gloved hand. The subwoofer underneath the floorboard vibrates my soul. Small things stack up like overdue letters. The hallway radiator clicks 3 distinct times. You said the dust turns people into strangers, and I am counting every shadow on the tile. This evening tension pulls the room tight. We measure silence by the ice melting slow. A neon open sign buzzes near the window glass. Every tiny detail turns into a sign. This evening tension holds us right here, suspended in the baseline, and the twilight glow. A key scrapes softly against the brass keyhole door. Steam rises out from a subway grate down below. Your left shoe taps out an uneven rhythmic beat. A straight thread dangles from your denim jacket cuff. The bar clock ticks 4 seconds behind the truth. Somebody drops a quarter that rolls under a stool. You check your phone screen, then place it face down. The air carries a faint scent of toasted sesame. Small things stack up like overdue letters. The hallway radiator clicks 3 distinct times. You said the dust turns people into strangers, and I am counting every shadow on the tile. This evening tension pulls the room tight. We measure silence by the ice melting slow. A neon open sign buzzes near the window glass. Every tiny detail turns into a sign. This evening tension holds us right here, suspended in the baseline, and the twilight glow. The window reflects 2 silhouettes against the street lamp beam. A heavy bass note lingers on the synth pad. You fold a paper napkin into 4 neat squares. The quiet between us has a physical weight tonight. No one speaks first, but we both notice everything. Yesterday you said the night reveals the real truth. The delivery bike passes with the quiet chain rattle. The condensation ring on the wood dries up completely. Still watching the small things, still holding this low tension. Rough knit wool tugs my collar while the bass vibrates through the floorboards. 8:30 p.m. hits different when the dark settles over the window pane. I reach into the pocket of this oversized jacket and touch a paper ticket stub. Suddenly I'm back on that crowded subway platform in 2019. You were leaning against the top wall with your arms crossed tight. The train lights swept across your face before either of us said a word. The air felt thick enough to cut with a pocket knife. We pretended we were just waiting on the nightlight home. But every quiet second carry weight we cannot drop. Now the clock rolls past 9 and the memory takes control. That same heavy air is filling up my room again tonight. I pull the fabric tight around my shoulders to survive the chill. You pulled away before the doors could even slide apart. Now I am standing in big sack, same tension after dark. Different room, same unspoken silence hanging on the line. The synthesizer plays low in my headphones while I pace the rug. I remember how your thumb brushed against my sleeve when you turned around. You said some people are built to collide and then drift for miles. I laughed it off back then like it was just a poetic excuse. Now phones is face down on the wood and coffee table. The screen stays dark, but my head is loud with everything we left behind. Flashback to the diner parking lot at 2 in the morning. Engine idle and heater blown out, steam rising from our breath. You asked me if I ever thought about leaving this town for good. I stayed quiet because I knew my answer meant staying with you. We let the moment pass like streetlights blurring in the rain. Ruffle against my skin. The bass drops down low. Night keeps moving forward. I am still standing in the heavy air. Yeah. 916 flippers on the oven dial, while I picture us 5 years ahead in style, living in a place where the ceilings reach high, with a balcony looking at a dark city sky. You will lean against the counter with your shoulders drop low, no phone calls ringing, nowhere we gotta go, just a subtle electric tension in the room as the sub-bass hums through the heavy midnight gloom. I can see the silhouette before it even happens. No more stress about the rent or the downtown traffic. We will stand in the hallway right about this hour, feeling all the quiet heat regain its power. In that future kitchen when the shadows stretch wide, we won't need to say a word to know what's inside. Just a slow rotation of a vinyl spinning beat, and a promise that we finally get to keep. We will match our breathing to the low frequency when the rest of the world fades out completely. 3:34, a future display. That's the hour we'll be talking all our worries away. I could picture your laugh when the ice hits the cup in a room where the single ember floor lamp stays up. No rush for the moment, no baggage on the floor, just the sound of a jacket zippers pulled by the door. You'll wear my oversized hoodie in the hall with 2 long profiles leaning on the wall. I can see the silhouette before it even happens. No more stress about the rent or the downtown traffic. We will stand in the hallway right about this hour, feeling all the quiet heat regain its power. In that future kitchen when the shadows stretch wide, we won't need to say a word to know what's inside. Just a slow rotation of a vinyl spinning deep, and a promise that we finally get to keep. We will match our breathing to the low frequency when the rest of the world fades out completely. Right now the apartment is small and cramped. The hallway lights are flickering and damp, but I close my eyes and I watch the scene unfold. A sanctuary built out of everything we hold. Every late night grind is just a stepping stone to the quietest sanctuary we will ever own. 916 fades as the present comes back, still sitting on the edge of a hand-me-down rack, but I carry that future evening in my chest real tight. 2 shadows standing in the warm wall light. A brass key sits beside my drink, catching every flicker from the neon street below. I watch the ice dissolve, taking time to think, listening to the low hum of the stereo. My heart rate stays steady while the city turns loud. Every text I draft gets erased before I send, standing on the edge of a restless crowd, wondering how much composure I can bend. The baseline rolls across the tabletop, shaking loose the quiet I was trying to keep. I tell myself that I don't have to stop, even when the dark gets a little too deep. Tracing the room before midnight comes around, holding my breath till the tension turns to smoke. I keep my head level while I walk through the sound, living in the silence, every word I never spoke. There is a pull in the air tonight, heavy and electric right behind my eyes. I ride the wave till the morning light, wearing no mask and no disguise. The waiter clears a glass, 2 stools over to the right, and I catch my reflection in the dark polished wood. I spent my 20s running from the shadows of the night. Now I sit inside the stillness like I always knew I should. No need to chase the noise or prove a single point. My pulse settles down into a slow, steady groove. The ambient soul fills the corners of the joint. I wait for the rhythm to make my next move. The baseline rolls across the tabletop, shaking loose the quiet I was trying to keep. I tell myself that I don't have to stop, even when the thoughts finally find their space. I don't need a crowd to tell me what to do. I am right where I belong in this low-lit place. Every quiet beat is a step toward peace, letting all the heavy expectations cease. The brass key take hold beneath my thumb. The rhythm stays thick as the hours grow late. I listen to the silence till the morning comes. Just me and the night, learning how to wait. Yeah. Subway grace rattle as the line runs through. You sit on the edge of the stoop holding on to a mood. Work pulled you under and the shift took a toll. Now the dust settles thick on your tired soul. I can hear the city traffic hum through the floor. Leave the chatter and the trouble right outside the front door. The street lights flickered on a minute ago. I know that look when you are carrying too much load. We do not have to figure out the rest of the night. Just let the beat take over till the feeling gets right. So leave the heavy stuff outside, my friend. We can kick back where the shadows bend. Ice in the glass and the low end deep. No promises that either of us has to keep. The evening is rolling in slow and wide. Leave the heavy stuff outside. Car horns echo down the avenue wall. You check your screen waiting for another call, but the phone face down on the wooden crate. Nobody needs an answer when the hour gets late. We built this space so you could catch your breath. No need to prove a point or fight to the death. So leave the heavy stuff outside, my friend. We can kick back where the shadows bend. Ice in the glass and the low end deep. No promises that either of us has to keep. The evening is rolling in slow and wide. Leave the heavy stuff outside. The scent starts warming in the corner room. We float right above all the urban gloom. You do not have to speak if the words feel tight. Just exist right here in the chill of the night. Subway grades quiet down, street grows still. Take all the time that you need until the morning comes back around to try again. Right now it is just you and me, my friend. Leave it all outside. Just leave it all outside. Heavy orchestra drifts past the velvet curtain. Marcus checks his watch like he isn't certain. Elena leans against the marble counter edge. Neither one willing to step back from the ledge. He pours 2 fingers of the dark rye whiskey. Outside the city lights are dimming quickly. They talk about the project coming due tonight, but every word they drop is heavy, calm and tight. He moves a step to hand her the glass, watching the quiet seconds pass. She takes a sip without taking her eyes away. There is too much left and neither one will say. That late evening tension pulling in the room. Shadows growing longer in the twilight gloom. He knows the beat is slowing down below. She shifts her weight but isn't gonna go. 2 minds caught in a velvet thread, thinking about the words that stay unsaid. A bassline plays from her phone screen soft, echoing light into the studio loft. He pulls a chair up but he doesn't sit, striking a match that isn't even lit. She smiles a little at his nervous hand, both of them trying hard to understand. With the professional line fades out to black, once they cross over there's no going back. He moves a step to hand her the glass, watching the quiet seconds pass. She takes a sip without taking her eyes away. There is too much left and neither one will say. That late evening tension pulling in the room. Shadows growing longer in the twilight gloom. He knows the beat is slowing down below. She shifts her weight but isn't gonna go. Two minds caught in a velvet thread, thinking about the words that stay unsaid. Outside the taxis hum along the lane. Rain begins to tap against the window pane. His jacket hangs across the leather chair. Electric currents charging up the air. Nobody moves to turn the front light on. They know the boundary is almost gone. The orchid perfume lingers near the frame. Neither person wants to call it by name. Late hours ticking on the digital clock. He hears the streetlight flickering down the block. Still standing close while the city goes dark, waiting for a single quiet spark. A sudden memory fractures the stillness. Right before you shift your weight against the couch, the bassline drips slowly from the Bluetooth speaker. Shadows expanding across the plaster walls. Your phone screen flickers upside down on glass. A blue notification dying in the dark. Neither of us moves to check the name. We just track the amber streetlights through the blinds. Ice shrinks inside the tumbler on the floor. You tilt your chin and take a quiet breath. The air between us thickens by the second, waiting for the kick drum to return. We are standing on the edge of saying too much, watching smoke curl up toward the ceiling fan. Heavy room, low lights, slow rhythm taking over. Nothing spoken yet, but everything understood. Every second holds a quiet push and pull. Late night tension heavy in the air. You slide your ring around your index finger. A tiny metallic click against the room. The track transitions into something darker. Sub bass humming through the hardwood floorboards. Your leather jacket hangs over the chair, smelling like night air and faded cologne. You take one step closer to the table, eyes locked on mine, refusing to blink first. I shrinks inside the tumbler on the floor. You tilt your chin and take a quiet breath. The air between us thickens by the second, waiting for the kick drum to return. We are standing on the edge of saying too much, watching smoke curl up toward the ceiling fan. Heavy room, low lights, slow rhythm taking over. Nothing spoken yet, but everything understood. Every second holds a quiet push and pull. Late night tension heavy in the air. One wrong word to tear the mood apart. Pushes both past the point of turning back. The city hums 20 stories below us, but right here time is stretching out like silk. The track fades down to a single rim shot. You reach out and touch the rim of my glass. No words left to shield the static. The silence collapses at last. Who measured the space between two shoulders? When the train door slides shut and nobody moves, the bass knocks off through the floorboards below us. A heavy kick drum trying to prove a point I forgot. My coat feels too warm, your phone screen flashes blue. A notification from someone who isn't standing here. And I'm counting ceiling tiles, 24, 25. Thinking about how your breath hit the cold window pane, like steam rising off wet pavement after dark. Thoughts running sideways into the hallway lights. You shift your weight, I check my wrist, it's 8:42. Nobody's saying what we came here to say tonight. Just riding the frequency of a low synth loop that won't raise off. There is a charge in the room that we keep ignoring. Heavy like humidity right before the storm breaks open. I pull my collar up, you turn your neck away. Stream of shadows bending across the stereo dial. We got nowhere to run, nowhere we really gotta be. Just this electric current pulling on your sleeve of mine. Did I leave the back window cracked at home? Doesn't matter now, the air in here is thicker anyway. You order another glass line wedge floating in the dark, and the ice kicks against the rim like a tiny metronome. I'm thinking about 3 years ago, or maybe next week, how your voice drops half an octave when the room dims down, and how the bass line just slid into a minor key, making every small movement feel urgent for no good reason. There is a charge in the room that we keep ignoring. Heavy like humidity right before the storm breaks open. I pull my collar up, you turn your neck away. Stream of shadows bending across the stereo dial. We got nowhere to run, nowhere we really gotta be. Just this electric current pulling on your sleeve of mine. Static on the wire, static behind my eyes. One foot tapping on the hardwood, the other pinned in place. If I step closer, does the temp pick a pace? If you meet my eye right now, do we break the loop? Everything is bleeding together. The neon sign, the kick drum, the quiet between us. 8:49 now, ice fully melted in the glass. Still sitting on the edge of the speaker box, waiting for the drop that never really comes. Just a hum, just a hum. The heavy armchair creaks beneath my full weight as the city lights kick on. 10 years of tension slowly draining out of my shoulders into the leather. I am writing a note back to the 19-year-old kid trapped in a panic rush, who thought every unanswered phone call meant the end of the world. You were sleeping on a mattress on the floor, counting coins for groceries, staring at the water stains on the ceiling, afraid you would never become someone. I wish I could drop this notebook through a tear in the timeline, just to tell you that the chest pain eventually lets go. The ambient bass shakes the tinted glass windows. The evening cools down into something soft and slow. You fought so hard just to prove you belonged in the room. Now we just sit in the quiet and let the night flow. To the boy who stayed awake past 3 a.m. worrying about tomorrow, you do not have to carry every burden until your hands break. The rent is paid, the winter wind is gentle outside. We survived every mistake you were terrified to make. Take a deep breath and let the pressure release. We built a home out of all that chaos and grief. Remember when you thought turning 29 meant getting old? You were terrified of silence, always needing the crowd to feel valid. Now prefer a glass of red wine, low lights, and the warm synthesizer groove. Finding peace in the simple routines you used to call boring. That girl who broke your heart in sophomore year, she is just a distant memory now. No hard feelings left. That dead and night shift at the warehouse, it gave us the discipline to stand on our own 2 feet. The ambient bass shakes the tinted glass windows. The evening cools down into something soft and slow. You fought so hard just to prove you belonged in the room. Now we just sit in the quiet and let the night flow. To the boy who stayed awake past 3 a.m. worrying about tomorrow, you do not have to carry every burden until your hands break. The rent is paid, the winter wind is gentle outside. We survived survived every mistake you were terrified to make. Take a deep breath and let the pressure release. We built a home out of all that chaos and grief. If I could send a signal back through the low end, I would tell you to stop apologizing for existing. You were never broken, just growing into your skin, learning how to take up space without flinching. The room settles into a golden twilight glow. The heavy chair holds us both now. Yeah, yeah, you can rest your head, young man. We made it through the dark. A violet beam pulls on your glass while you're leaning closer. You ask me if the bass is hitting too heavy tonight. I say I like the low end when the hour gets older. And you laugh, setting down the phone you haven't checked since 9. You tell me you just landed 3 hours ago from Atlanta. No real plans, just a room downtown and a jacket bought on sale. I spill a bit of tonic, wipe it off with a napkin, watching how the neon washes out your fingernails. We don't know each other's last names yet. There's a pull in the air that we both accept. You ask what I'm running from, I ask what you came to find. Two strangers trading secrets right on the boundary line. Evening tension pulling us across the counter space. You talk about your ex, I talk about the pace of the city. No promises made, just the cadence of your breath. Finding something honest in a room full of noise. Late hour slow burn, staying right where we are. Just two nameless faces under violet light at the bar. Yeah, you lean back, tapping rhythm on the polished cedar wood. You say most people here are pretending to be somebody else. I lean forward, nodding like I fully understood, because I spent my whole 20s putting real feelings on the shelf. What's your story then? You whisper over the snare drum. I tell you I'm just looking for a conversation that lands. You order us another round before the midnight rush comes. And for a second your wrist brushes against my hand. We don't know where we'll be by tomorrow's dawn. There's a hum in the speaker keeping the momentum on. You ask if I'm staying, I say I haven't thought that far. Just caught in the pull of who we currently are. Evening tension pulling us across the counter space. You talk about your ex, I talk about the pace of the city. No promises made, just the cadence of your breath. Finding something honest in a room full of noise. Late hour slow burn, staying right where we are. Just two nameless faces under violet light at the bar. Streetlights outside flicker in the damp rain chill. You say you hate goodbye, so let's keep the moment still. No phone numbers exchanged, no lingering heavy regrets. Just the cleanest kind of friction two strangers ever get. The ice melts down in the bottom of the cup. You say, nice meeting you, then you stand right up. Violet light fading out as you walk toward the door. An unspoken story left on the lounge floor. Yeah, yeah. Yesterday you called me overly careful while watching the ice melt down my glass. Tonight the apartment holds that same weight. A lukewarm soda resting on a felt coaster. Your right sneaker sits unlaced by the door. The phone screen goes pale against your thumb. And every 10 seconds you scan the clock, measuring how fast the twilight slips away. A blue light pulses on the soundbar speaker. The radiator clicks twice and goes still. You shift your weight slightly exact inches between our knees. It is the little things gathering heat, the unread message you keep turning over, the way your index finger taps the armrest, and how the low end vibrates through the floorboards. Nothing is spoken but the air grows heavy, a silent count to 7 before someone moves. Yeah, yesterday you claimed I overthink the quiet, yeah, you sit there twisting the silver ring on your thumb. An idle delivery truck hums on the curb below, headlights sweeping across our ceiling in slow motion. Your denim jacket collar stays folded inward, the key fob in your pocket clinks when you breathe. 4 empty water bottles lined up on the desk, each one standing like a quiet boundary line. A blue light pulses on the soundbar speaker, the radiator clicks twice and goes still. You shift your weight slightly toward the hallway, leaving 3 exact inches between our knees. It is the little things gathering heat, the unread message you keep turning over, the way your index finger taps the armrest, and how the low end vibrates through the floorboards. Nothing is spoken but the air grows heavy, a silent count to 7 before someone moves. The amber street lamp cuts through the blinds, laying one narrow stripe across your forehead. You swallow hard and unlock the display screen, then dark it again before a word comes out. That tiny spark hanging in the dim space, holding every unsaid thing right before it drops. Yesterday you said I noticed too much. Tonight you proved that I was right. The screen goes black, the low end hums 3 inches close to 0. Curves, denim fibers catch my fingertips as I pull the heavy coat from its frame. The twilight settles in a muted grid across the polished wood floor. This old fabric still holds the weight of a crowded corner 2 years back, where the low end hit slow through the floorboards, and neither of us moved an inch away. The atmosphere in this room shrinks down. I hear the ice cube crack inside my glass, and every second pulls me backward to the ledge where we almost confessed. Late hours always bring that heavy pull, a sudden surge of who we used to be. Your hand resting light against my sleeve, the static charging up the space between. We were playing with fire in the dim light, letting the evening tension take control. And now every thread brings you back tonight, haunting every shadow in my room. Smooth inner lining glides across my skin, a tactile ghost of your soft-spoken tone. You took a slow sip of dark rum, leaned in close just to lower your voice. 2 young adults moving through the dark, pretending the clock on the wall didn't exist, matching the breath to the bassline's pulse, scared to break the rhythm if we moved. The atmosphere in this room shrinks down. I hear the ice cube crack inside my glass, and every second pulls me backward to the ledge where we almost confessed. Late hours always bring that heavy pull, a sudden surge of who we used to be. Your hand resting light against my sleeve, the static charging up the space between. We were playing with fire in the dim light, letting the evening tension take control. And now every thread brings you back tonight, haunting every shadow in my room. The strikes like a current out of nowhere, the scent of faint smoke and warm skin. We stood inches apart in the crimson glow, waiting to see who would break first. city outside turns quiet and cool, but the memory burns without a sound. Rough weave resting beneath my thumb. The twilight finally fades to black. I hang the jacket on the brass hook, still feeling the charge where we left off. 1042 pulses, digital red, against the leather of a car we haven't bought yet. I picture us 35 standing on a penthouse thread, looking down at the highway where the tail lights fret. Yeah, you'll be holding a glass with that subtle tilt, wearing confidence you built out of trial and debt. The bass will still rumble in the floorboards thick, a familiar spark that we never could forget. Years down the line, same unspoken pull, when the room gets quiet and the glass stays full. We don't need the crowd to validate the atmosphere. I already know how we'll lean in near. In that future hour, when the lights drop low, we'll still carry this heavy electric glow. No words required for the tension we trade, just the quiet promise that we never faded. 10 years from tonight, under city glass, we'll watch every nervous little shadow pass. I see you laughing at a joke from 24, dropping your keys by the custom oak door. Your silk shirt unbuttoned by a single loop, taking your position in our two-person troupe. We spent our 20s learning how to hold the line. Now the future pays interest on the grand design. The bass in my chest matches every beat of yours, pulling down the shades on all the open doors. In that future hour, when the lights drop low, we'll still carry this heavy electric glow. No words required for the tension we trade, just the quiet promise that we never faded. 10 years from tonight, under city glass, we'll watch every nervous little shadow pass. Maybe the car changes, maybe the skyline shifts, but the way you look at me is a permanent gift. An evening pull that never loses weight, written in the rhythm of a future day. I can feel it coming like a baseline swell, a story only two of us can tell. 1042 on the dashboard in the distance, still the same gravity, still no resistance, just you and me. And the future dark, holding on tight to the calculated spark.